I was voguing on the countdown. That was what that was.
It was fun. How have you been since we last spoke?
I'm spectacular. How are you
Yay!
doing?
It's still going.
It goes in the same way as it did 10 minutes ago.
10 minutes ago, which is fun. Yes, we are recording back to back. Leave us alone, please. Thank you. Do you want to introduce our 21st episode now?
It's legal enough to drink in the US.
Yay!
Hey, you're an adult now, sure. Go out into the world. Hi. Anyway, hi everyone. Welcome to All the Films We Judged Before. I am Katie, and that is the incredible Lily Kay.
I am not incredible. I like that. Not Troy Baker. I am Troy Faker. See?
Mm-hmm.
I remember, Ryan. I remember. And that is the amazing Katie.
I'm gonna have to start like bringing up a thesaurus of stuff to describe you as, so that I can like really mix it up every time.
It's gonna be a good compilation when it's time to do that again. So yeah, we decided that we're just gonna
Shoot the shit.
do our tangents, which we would usually do when we decide to record something specific and then just go on tangents. So this is just gonna be tangents, and that's it, because
we're stealing Chance and Steph's premise.
Also, I was too tired, so I didn't come up with any ideas of what we should talk about. But we have a feeling that we're going to talk about two very specific boys.
Also, my background is just because this is a game I've played recently and I really like the art and I couldn't think of anything else to put on the back. So please play Transistor. It's beautiful.
There you go. And please sponsor us. No? Maybe one day. But anyway, we're gonna start off with the usual question and then just go from there, which is what did you watch in the past 2 weeks, basically, because we haven't recorded in like 2 weeks. So there you go.
What have I watched? Well, for the movie nights we've been watching, we kind of been catching up on certain DC stuff in time for Justice League. So I watched Man of Steel for the first time, which I actually liked a fair bit. I mean, I don't think it's particularly good, but like I liked it a lot. There was some stuff in there that I was very much a fan of. I thought there's a whole sequence in there with when Zod and that lot starts coming down to earth and all the TVs go off and all the power goes off and it starts like, I was like, that's cool as hell.
Right.
And I said so when we were watching the movie. I was like, this is very cool. I like this a lot. And I think that movie is full of a lot of really interesting moments kind of shoved together. Not well edited. Like the whole opening bit is like, why are we going back in and we're going, what? No context for why he's just sort of like jumping around the world. It's very bizarre, but like, oh well. But I thought that was pretty good. And then Tom and I were like, hey, why don't we watch Batman vs. Superman just as a sort of Zoom hangout? And Jesus Christ, was that not a good movie?
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Pagan. It's not good.
It's really not.
And sorry, you go.
No, just I've been seeing it pop up again because of obviously Justice League, and it's like people keep saying like a lot of these. I'm just gonna say that the really blinded fans are keep saying that it's excellent and it easily beats up other movies, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry, but no.
It's just like there's the potential for something interesting in there, and there's like moments that you're like, oh, this could be something fun. I said this to you when because I had a very long discussion with Lily about it. But I did very much like the moment where Wonder Woman turned up, like proper Wonder Woman, and the store comes in and she kind of blocks the thing, and I was like, that was cool. But like that was the biggest, most like that was cool moment I had in the whole thing. Lois is just completely fucking useless in it. She somehow really like knows too much and also does nothing.
Yeah, kind of.
Like, it just feels like they kind of had her there because they were like, well, we got to do something with her. And it's like, well, no, she just, there's no reason for her to be there. None at all.
Nope. Nope. It's just like I think they just it's that's my problem with Zack Snyder, and I told you this. It's that he's gonna go for the visual aspect of things instead of the story and characters, which
Yeah.
shows in a lot of his works, especially, and I'm just keep gonna say this, after Dawn of the Dead, which was still for me that's his best work, because there you have characters, you have story, you have build up and everything, and sure the visuals are nice as well, but obviously it's not on the same dimension as then later on 300 and other of his movies were. And I feel like that especially the peak of all this Snyder world is obviously the now released Justice League, where it's just like
I haven't watched it yet. I will watch it.
yeah,
I have it ready to go, but because it's 4 hours, there's a lot of like I have to sit down and watch this whole thing, kind of in the back of my head. But I am going to watch it because even people who don't have any kind of real emotional investment in it have told me that it's pretty decent.
it is.
So I'm interested. Also, there's like multiple spoiler casts that I really want to listen to, and I don't want to listen to them until I've watched the movie.
I mean, fair deal, fair deal. I did watch it. I did tell you. I watched it on the day it came out because I was like, yeah, why not? And I did promise that if it's gonna go above 70% on Rotten Tomatoes, then I'm gonna watch it. And it was above, so I was like, okay. The ratio is ridiculous. I'm just gonna put this out there. Like, I don't see the point behind it, because it's a what's the ratio on it? 4:3 or something like that.
Oh right, that that's I was like, what are you talking about ratio? I mean, you literally meant the ratio of the it's 4:3.
Yeah, 4:3.
There was like it's so funny. I saw a tweet of somebody saying that they found it very funny, but that has that bit at the beginning of the HBO Max where it was like, this has been kept in 4:3 to preserve Zack Snyder's vision. And somebody came along and basically was like, I can't remember the specifics of what exactly they said, but they basically said that widescreen was a gimmick to get people to go back to the cinema after TV came out. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about?
It was like when it started, I messaged my brother and I was like, well, this is not promising so far. If it for a good 30 minutes or 40 even, it bothered me so much. I was like, I don't see the point in this.
It was the way this person was like, widescreen was a gimmick to get people to go back to the cinema, which I know that like they really marketed widescreen as like a whole experience thing. It is better. This is the thing that this person was getting at, was that widescreen was not better than the original 4:3 that like things were presented in. And I'm like, no, it's better.
It is better.
It's just better.
It's just better.
We all have widescreen televisions now. It's like the only time I like watching things in 4:3 is when I know it comes from the 90s.
Yep. There it is. There it is. So yeah, that was already, and I'm like, you know, it's now coming out, the statistic and everything. I don't know who tweeted it because I don't remember, but someone pointed it out that the slow motion parts in the movie took up 40 minutes from the 4 hours, and I'm like, yep,
that's a lot of slow motion.
I felt that it's a lot, and
the one thing no, you could go.
No, just one thing that I think half of that slow motion could have been easily cut out and just bye.
Yeah, there is.
It was for the visuals. Again,
there is an element. I understand the argument that people have been putting forward that this is an important thing, like a important precedent, because like the original Justice League was completely butchered. Let's put that way.
I haven't watched it, so I don't know.
Well, I haven't seen it either, but like the whole story behind it is that, you know, he went through this personal tragedy, he left the project, and then just fucking Wheaton came in and basically just killed it. And then the studio put their hands all over it, so it was nowhere close to what it was like supposedly meant to be, which is what we now have. So now that we have it, the fact that he was given the ability to come back and actually present what he was going to make is a very important artistic standpoint. And I'm very glad that he had that opportunity, and that people are, you know, people who aren't completely invested, like, are coming in and being like, yeah, this is better. I'm glad that this is now exists, right? That I'm glad that this, and it had the opportunity to exist in the way it should, because we should be allowing the people who have a vision for these things actually play them out. Whether they may those visions may end up being bad, but at least they stuck by them. Like there's an artistic integrity that comes with that sort of thing. So it's good that it happened, and I'm glad that he had the opportunity to finish this off. What was I going to say?
Don't get me wrong, it was cool and beautiful. Like it's nothing against them, but like I just the only problem with it is that now that it didn't bother me when I watched it, but looking back at it, it was like, like, you know, it was beautiful, it's nice.
Yeah,
that's it.
Yeah. There's a kind of moral standpoint where it's like, yes, I'm glad that this exists, but also on the like critical standpoint where it's like, it's not great anyway, but like I'm glad that it happened.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I did see one bit because I was watching. Jack Howard was kind of Instagram, putting stuff on his Instagram stories when he was watching it, and it's just the bit where they're playing like the really loud guitars and they're just walking up the stairs. And I'm like, why are they walking? And why is the music this intense? Oh, that's just something that I thought was really funny.
And also, I'm gonna put one of my favorite ones here. But it was kind of funny that each time Wonder Woman did something, the Amazon music started, and it's a new theme for I think it's a new one. I don't think I heard it before. But it's a new theme for Wonder Woman. Basically, it's not the usual.
No.
Thing. Yeah, it's not that. It's a different one. It's very nice. But like when you hear it every single time when she does something, it's just like, we get it. She's Wonder Woman.
I have heard her before. I know who she is.
And there are amazing people, and that's why I love things like this, because there are some creative people up on TikTok. And I will just put one of the clips here where it's basically when Wonder Woman tried to do laundry, and then you can imagine, you're gonna see. But yeah, it wasn't bad. I'm not gonna say that because it wasn't a bad movie. I still think that it didn't need to be 4 hours.
No, I don't think there's any movie that actually needs to be 4 hours long.
I mean,
at a certain point, just make a TV show.
Yeah, basically. And it was in chapters anyway.
Yeah.
So you know, I was like, this could have been like a mini series or something. But anyway, I get it. He wanted to do it like this. Oh well.
Yeah. Good for you, Zach. You seem like a very cool guy.
Yeah. I'm just gonna say that Jared Leto is proved in this that he deserves so much more than what he ended up with in Suicide Squad, because here he showed that he had so much potential to be a really good Joker. And I felt like it played on my heartstrings. I was like, yep, I knew it was there. I knew that he could pull off a much better Joker than what we saw. And he proved it in 5 minutes, or it wasn't even 5 minutes. I think it was just like 3 minutes. And I'm like, yeah, this is why I am pissed off. So I'm like, I'm a bit like, I kind of want to see what the original Suicide Squad would look like.
Yeah, there's a call for the Ayer cut on Twitter.
Would be nice. I'm not gonna lie, I would be interested to see that as well. Now that we got Snyder Cut, I don't see why we couldn't get.
Many places get director's cuts, so it's like, you know, if it exists, he said it exists. I think he said that it exists in a warehouse somewhere. So it's like, if you fancy it, there would be an audience for it. I'm just saying, Warner Brothers.
Oh, yep, 100%. I think a lot of people would be interested to see it because, yep, that's another.
I feel like that it is just a win for the studio, right? Because it's like, either, right, it's really good and it makes them a bunch of money, right? Or it's really bad and the studio just go, well, you know, we tried to step in. Not our fault. You said you wanted this, basically.
Yeah. Oh, it's definitely a win for them. Like, you know, the reactions and everything shows that they won. it's like it was a good decision to let Snyder do his own thing. So uh, I I don't know. I do find it weird that even though this has now a really big success and everything, they still say that it's a no for the future Snyder plans that were there. So it kind of once you watch the movie, you're gonna see what I mean, because they left so many things open at the end that it's like yeah, now it doesn't really stand on its own anymore, because you left a lot of unanswered questions there. So I'm like, I'm not saying I'm interested to see it, because I wasn't that convinced about the whole thing, but at the same time I'm like, I'm a bit intrigued to be like,
Yeah.
what now?
Yeah. It's a interesting thing, I think.
I don't think they're gonna pick it up.
No, I don't
even
think so either.
if it's gonna be like another big petition round or Twitter outburst or whatever, I don't think they're gonna pick it up. Although I did find something very interesting on IMDb, which was like, oh, wait, what? I didn't see any news about it, and it was basically I saw that Jared Leto is gonna be on the new Gucci film. Is it Gucci? No, it's Coco Chanel. No,
The one with
Lady Gaga and
yeah.
Adam Driver. Is it Gucci? No, it's Coco Chanel. Is it?
Hang on, I'm gonna
I
find
don't
out
know.
now.
I never know which one. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, wait, which one is it?
It's Gucci.
Gucci. There you go. And he's gonna be in it apparently as well. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna check what else he's gonna do. And if you go on his IMDb, there's a Joker project there, and there's a Joker and Harley Quinn project there, and I'm like, are you sure? This seems like it's not true, but it's still there. So
Untitled. I don't know about that.
I don't
I
know if
don't
it's
know about that.
because IMDb works in a way where it can only be updated by the company itself that does the movie, the agent, and I think the actor himself or herself.
I think if you have an IMDb Pro account, you can
You cannot. I don't think you can touch other people's IMDb profiles though.
Yeah, but it's just the way that, and this is it's only listed as announced rather than anything else.
Yeah.
So
and I don't remember hearing about it. So I was like, what? Are you guys sure that this is announced? Because I didn't hear anything.
And it says the Joker rumored, so who knows about that sort of thing.
I don't know. But it was like, okay. It's a bit weird because I didn't hear anything, but who knows? I don't know. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
Should we move on?
And yes, let's move on. What else did you watch?
Well, after we watched The Winter Soldier last week on the movie night, and I was sitting there going, "Fuck, I forgot how good this movie was." And then a couple of days later, I hadn't seen it in a really long time, so it was like. And I was saying to you just before we started doing this that I don't know if it was just the comparison of them watching these DC movies and then watching these, but the construction of them, just like from a technical level, I guess, on like a storytelling technical level,
yeah,
they're just really well paced and everything is in place. It feels very cohesive as a property. It feels like it's going, we know we don't have to rush into anything here. We have a story we're going to tell in this space.
Yeah.
And that's the story we're going to tell. We know it's going to be a part in a very big machine. And that's all we need to do, right? Mm-hmm. And I was kind of sitting there, oh, this is really good. And then I sat down and I watched Civil War a couple of days ago, which I very much enjoyed also. But I stand by the because I was sitting there going, oh, this is a really good movie. But also, somehow, despite the fact that he's kind of the focus of everything, not enough Bucky in it. Because he's kind of the focus, but he's not the focus. Like he's the reason everything's happening, but there's not there's no like real spotlight on like what's going on with him.
Mm-hmm.
So I was kind of sitting there going, I want to know more about what's going on with Bucky, which is why Falcon and the Winter Soldier is such a godsend at this point. like there's just I think the scene in that film where they managed to kind of get him out of I don't actually know what the building is where when he was imprisoned,
Yes.
and Zemo came after him,
Mm.
and they had him. They went after they got him out, and they had him kind of clamped in. Just that whole scene, I think, is probably the most interesting scene in the movie for
Yeah.
me. That and obviously the end, because the end is like something else.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
but I thought that the thing that also really struck me was that I hate movies or like stories in general where the basis of it is a lack of communication, or like things could really easily be solved if people just talk to each other properly. But I felt like in this movie they did a pretty spectacular job of making it so that it
That's
was
what I
like,
wanted to say. Yeah.
this is what I'm not saying that I actually think the movie did this incredibly well in a way that it
Yeah.
wasn't frustrating, where it was like,
Yep.
you already can see that these two people are coming from like an ideologically different place. So even when they did try to talk to each other, it wasn't working. So
Yep.
that when everything else kind of fell apart, it's like, yeah, this makes sense. I'm not annoyed about this, because I get this often. I got this when I watched The Last Jedi, honestly, which I think is a pretty decent movie, where it's like the entirety of The Last Jedi, like everything that happens with Finn and Rose wouldn't have happened if Laura Dern's character had actually spoken to Poe Dameron
Oh, yeah.
properly. If they
Yep.
had an actual conversation, if she let him in on the plans, none of like the rest of the movie would have happened, and that really annoys me.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm not gonna argue with that because that's fair. Yeah, but
But in
as you
Civil
said,
War, yeah,
it's so freaking well done. Like,
yeah.
I love Civil War. I love all the Marvel movies.
I love that it never feels like they're like Steve never feels like he's like attacking anybody. He's very much on the defensive the whole time. He's like, none of this is personal to me. I just need to protect my friend because I know what's going on with him, and I know that nobody else is going to believe me properly.
Yeah.
But like, this is a good man, and he's not himself, and I need to look after him. And but Tony obviously just comes to the entire, everything he finds out is entirely understandable why he reacts that way. He's angry, and it's very personal and deep betrayal. But it never feels like Steve has any kind of like animosity towards him for that, which I also love. It's probably one of the many reasons why you love Captain America.
Yep. Aw, I like that sentence. I'm gonna frame it. I'm gonna write it down and frame it.
I found it very interesting that I was kind of like, I didn't agree with everything anybody did in that movie.
Mm-hmm.
Where it was like, I agreed with a lot of things that Steve was doing, but I didn't agree with everying. And I agreed with a lot of things that Tony was going for, but I didn't agree with everything. Which is why when I can't remember when you asked me, but you asked me whose side I was on, like, am I Team Cap or Team Iron Man? I was like, neither. I'm team like kind of both of them, really. Where I'm like, these two people just there's a fundamental like disagreement going on, and a genuine betrayal of trust and hurt that happens.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, there's no easy fix to any of this. It just sucks.
Yeah. Here's a question about Civil War. At the end, do you think that Tony is more upset with what Bucky did, or more upset with himself because of how he was with his dad?
I think he's more upset with Steve because Steve didn't tell him. That was the
That's
most
third option.
I think that was the most. A lot of I think it's kind of everything, right?
Yeah.
It's a lot of being angry at himself, because that's obviously a big part of Tony's whole arc, basically from the beginning, where he's really, honestly, like, understandably and angry at his father. Like, his father was not like that a good of a man, and the fact that they really pushed him into this sort of like, hey, everything's good now, sort of odd arc, where it's like, it's a bit weird, but like, I'm not really sure I agreed with that direction, but I did like that he over the time he kind of had the opportunity to understand that his father was not a perfect man, and he did what he could, even if that wasn't enough. I think that's an interesting bit of pieces, but I think a lot of it was because like he's not actively going after Bucky in that scene, he's going after Steve.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he's kind of going after Bucky to make sure he doesn't leave, because that's what that's Bucky's motivation throughout the entire fight, is to try and get out, because it's like, oh, Tony's going to kill you, that sort of thing. And Steve keeps standing in the way. But then I think he then, by the end of it, is directing all of that anger towards Steve, because it's like, I mean, he literally goes, hey, he's my friend. And he goes, so was I. Like, I can't believe that you're...
That scene breaks my heart every time.
But he's like, I think he's most betrayed that he stands with this guy who he knew killed his parents over him. Like, that's where that comes from as well. There's so many fucking layers to it. It's great.
Yeah. And see, this is okay. I'm just gonna point out, this is where Marvel exceeds every other thing.
Yeah.
Because we can talk about things like this when it comes to a Marvel movie, but you cannot do that with a DC one. I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say it. And I love the DC comics. We already established that it was something that I was looking forward to, but it's not working. Like, I cannot have the same conversation about DC because it's not there.
I haven't put the time in.
No. And with Marvel, we can get really deep into what these characters are feeling, how they are connected, what can it go behind the scenes, blah blah blah, and that's why Marvel wins in my eyes each and every single time. I'm just going to point out that these two behind me are freaking amazing.
So good. I'm so happy. It's like really, really good.
It's oh my god! I think I already mentioned this when we had the episode with Elliot, that the chemistry between these two, like, if I have a bad day, I just watch Anthony Mackie and Sebastian Stan interviews because they are so funny and they have such a good chemistry. So I am now really looking forward to tomorrow, because then it's gonna be Friday and that's when the new episode comes out, and I am hoping, well, probably the roads will finally connect and we can see their banters and and I just can't wait. I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, I love the first episode, like it was already Jesus Christ.
I saw a very interesting, the general sort of consensus I was seeing from people, and I don't think I agree with this, is that they thought it was good, but they didn't think it was great yet. They thought that, and I was sitting there going, I don't think that's true. I think that this, and maybe this is just more to do with my personal taste. It's really up my street. I think that this show, from the moment it starts, knows exactly what it's doing, what tone it's going for.
Yeah.
I think it knows. It just, I also love that, like, everything in that episode is all character driven, right? You get so much like insight into who Sam Wilson is as a character that we haven't had before, right? I love that they're tying in like his whole, I was talking to my mum about this a little bit. I love the fact that it feels like two different stories that have very similar themes, where it's like Sam gave up the shield because there's like an element of him not feeling like the same kind of hero that Steve was. He doesn't want to take on that mantle. He's not like enough of a hero in that sense. And then there's Bucky, who has been the villain for so long and has this chance at redemption, but feels like he's not like, he doesn't deserve it, basically. And there's just this like, and I feel like that permeates throughout the entire episode. I love that a lot of the stuff that's going on with Sam is to do with the fact that he is a black man, and and that is rooted deep within his character. I love that is an exploration that we're getting in a Marvel property now. I'm like, I'm so into this. I love his sister so much. She's amazing.
Yes.
Like, she came on scene, I was like, I love this. I love this.
Yep.
She's so great.
Yep. Go on.
You not hit me again.
Oh God, it's just, I'm not gonna lie, like sure, like with everything when it comes to Marvel, I'm first like, let's wait and see, because that's how you should go about basically everything new. Like, let's wait and see, because we don't know, they can fuck it up, let's be honest, it can happen. But I was the same with this one as well. Like, I was with WandaVision, like, I was waiting for it and I was excited for it, but I was like, I'm gonna sit down and watch it. And then I sat down, and then at the beginning, first of all, that whole scene with Sam at the beginning, where he goes after the bad guys in the air, is just fuck me.
It's so good.
Oh my god. So freaking well done, and you can't believe that you are watching a freaking TV show. I'm like, mind blown like 10,000 times. Very, very well done. And then they immediately jump on the emotion train. And that scene in the Smithsonian where he talks about Steve, I felt his pain. Like Anthony Mackie did such a good job.
I'm so happy that he's at the forefront of this. Like,
I fucking love that fact. To be fair, and you know, you could feel his pain, and it is the pain that every fan of Captain America feels. That he's not going to be there anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Like it. Oh my god, I started crying, which is a good sign with me. I was like, oh, no, you can't do this with me. Right at the beginning. And then Bucky's look back scene.
I love that one of the first scenes that we get with Bucky is him in therapy.
Yep.
Brilliant. Love it. I'm so into it.
Yep. It's perfectly done. I like his doctor as well.
Not the nope.
So well done.
It's so good.
And but both of them had so much growth just in this one episode, that I cannot wait for the future episodes. And I'm kind of sad that it's only 6 episodes this time. I'm like, I want to see more. I am also interested. I'm not making theories, like it's not happening, but I'm interested if they're gonna mention Wanda's whole ordeal in Westview, or how much are we connecting in this case? Like, obviously we know that they are in the same universe, blah blah blah, but what will Marvel do?
Yeah, I don't know. I will say, I love Torres. Like, the moment he came up, I was like, I like this guy a lot. Yeah. I'm really very glad that we're getting to see more of him.
I was on board as well. I really like. Also, the girl who's going to play one of the anarchists, and she already
the one with the red hair.
Yeah. She was in Solo, a Star Wars story as well.
Oh.
And she already did a lot of things, but I really like her, and I have to learn her name.
I'm not familiar, so but I kind of watched a couple of trailers, because after the episode came out, I went on Tumblr because I still lived 10 years ago, and I like seeing GIFs. And there were GIFs of things I hadn't seen yet, and I realized that they came from like promos of just like things like Bucky going to the boat and like having some kind of impromptu meet and greet with a bunch of people, and with Sam there as well.
So
it looks very fun anyway.
I believe you.
Yeah.
Okay, I found her.
Oh.
So her name is Erin Kellyman.
Okay.
And she was born in 1998.
God, she's younger than me.
Yes. But she was amazing in Solo. That's the first time I saw her. And after the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, the next thing she's gonna do is gonna be Willow.
Right.
So that's really nice. I like that she's gonna be in the Green Knight as well, which is something I am looking forward to see.
The Green Knight?
Green Knight.
Night. I'm not familiar with that.
Dev Patel.
That kind of night. I was thinking of nighttime. Yes, no, that I am interested in.
I want to see that.
That's coming out in like September or something like that, I think.
I think so, yeah.
It had a release date come up relatively recently. It looks fucking gorgeous anyway.
Oh yes, 100%. And then I'm gonna say that
actually. Even better.
Oh, even better. I really like Leah, who was played by Miki Ishikawa. I hope that she's gonna show up in all the episodes. I'm not gonna lie. They had such a good chemistry with Bucky. I'm like,
Yeah,
already
I
like
like her
this.
a lot.
Altogether, I can't wait to see what this will
So excited.
end up being. But I am very, very excited, and I love the first episode, and it's almost tomorrow. It's almost time to watch the second one.
I honestly last night was like, oh, it's Wednesday today, isn't it? Shit, I gotta wait another day.
I know the feeling. I know the feeling.
It's
And
Thursday
then
tomorrow. Shit.
and the worst part, if you think about it, the first part is not even going to be this weekly wait. It's going to be the fact that once this ends, we have to wait longer for Loki than we had to wait for the Falcon and the Winter Soldier after WandaVision. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I can handle it. I need
It's
my
like the
Marvel.
entirety of May, basically, that we have to wait, which is...
Yep. Because it comes at the end of May. So
11th of June it comes out.
no, did they change it?
It's 11th of June.
No, it was May. Don't do this to me.
Oh, I typed Loki in and it didn't. It just gave me the characters of 11th of June.
They changed it. No.
That's what it, when they put the poster up, that was what they showed.
Oh, you went green again.
Well, I'm not green on my end, so we're good.
I'm gonna use your recording then. I'm just gonna put like a screenshot in so they can see what I see. It's a very green Katie.
I don't know why. I don't. And I have no idea how to fix it because it doesn't happen on my end. It happens on the other end and it only happens on Zoom. So really, this is Zoom's fault.
It's Zoom. Zoom is our enemy in a way. Okay, now I am even more sad that it's gonna be in June. Yep. Shit. I remember that the first poster that came out, it was it only said May, and that's it. I remember that time, but now it's June. Damn it. But the good thing is that the last episode of Loki is going to be the dropping date for Black Widow. So on that Friday, we're actually watching Loki, and then we are watching Black Widow afterwards because it's Marvel Day, baby. So that's good news for us. Yeah. Although I'm still a bit pissed off that we haven't seen anything from Eternals yet, because I want to see.
Yeah, I reckon they're waiting to release anything to do with that until they've actually gotten the other stuff out first.
But I want to see.
Well, I'm gonna put my hair
so
up.
Excited for that.
I wish just hot in there. Yeah, well, it's bugging me, so I'm just gonna get rid of it for a bit.
Fair. So I'm gonna go and say that I also watched a really good TV show, which I can only recommend to everyone. Basically, it's very creepy. I'm not gonna lie, it's very, very creepy.
Naturally,
because it's me. So what else could it be? It's on Apple TV Plus, and it is called Calls. And it features calls, like phone calls.
Yeah.
And it features many very talented people, including Pedro Pascal.
I just saw that.
Rosario Dawson. And it's literally just phone calls between people. And every episode tells a different story of different people, but they all have a connection. And by the end, you realize what the connection is. It's just so freaking well done. Like it was directed and created by Fede Alvarez, who did The Evil Dead reboot and many other very creepy horror stuff, to be fair. And it's just phone calls, and then they do the statics in the background, so that's all your visual. The only thing you hear is their voices, and it's brilliant because everything comes through so vividly. I was drawing while I was listening to it, and I kept noticing that I was drawing, but I kept looking at the screen. I was like, oh shit, what am I doing? And I finished it within one afternoon.
It sounds great.
Really, really good.
It's got some pretty decent reviews and stuff.
I highly recommend it to you, to everyone. It's like, I need more like this, because it's gonna sound dumb, but it's visionary. I'm just gonna say it. It's so well done. I can't praise it enough.
Sounds very cool.
and the acting in there. Like, I'm not gonna lie, my favorite episode is the one with Pedro, because he does such a good job.
I mean, that's valid.
It's Pedro.
I'm trying to think. Have I watched anything else? I've been watching a lot of Mission 20 stuff, so that's kind of where my head's been at, which I love very dearly. I've been watching a lot of stuff on Dropout, which is the College Humor's streaming service. I sent you an episode of the thing that I've been watching very recently, which is a show called Game Changer, where basically the idea is that it's a different game every episode, and it's just batshit, and these people are comedians and like professional improvisers, so it's very funny. That's just been it's been nice to just have something really silly to put on and laugh at.
I mean, fair enough.
Yeah, that's the kind of I keep going back. I have the intent to go back and start watching Peaky Blinders from the beginning. I haven't done it yet, but I'm going to, because it's like not getting a new season this year and I miss it. Like every so often I see like a clip or some like GIFs or something, and I'm like, I have to go watch this again.
Fair deal. I'm the same with. I've been thinking about Stargate Universe so much that I should really just put it in and watch it again, which I will probably do. But there are too many new things coming out. We are entering in that situation where I just new very interesting thing coming out every week, and I'm like, shit.
I mean,
I don't know what to do.
There are so many things I really should go back and actually watch for the first time. Like, I really need to get around to watching I May Destroy You at some point, because I've heard nothing but incredible things about that. And like Normal People completely missed me by. I haven't watched that either. That got a lot of great
that's true,
press and all that sort of stuff. A lot of people really like that one. Missed that one again. There's just so much stuff that I keep I'm like, I should watch that, and then I go, what if I just rewatch the things I've seen before?
Yeah. It's, I don't know, it depends on my mood most of the time, but even though I am interested in these new things, a lot of times I'm gonna choose to go back to something that I already watched like 1,000 times, and I don't know why my brain is like this, because I'm interested in the new things, but then at the same time I'm like, yeah, but that's my comfort zone. I should just go back and watch it again.
Yeah. After the West Wing, I've just kind of been like, now I need to go find something that will scratch my brain in the same way. I'm just going to go back to the old hits and see if something works. I mean, I've got like 4 episodes of Critical Role to catch up on, which basically equates to like 12 hours of content.
There you go.
And every so often I kind of put it on and I'm like, no, I'm going to do something else now. I'm like, I have to sit down and catch up on some stuff. There's so much stuff I have to catch up on. I got an email from sorry.
Oh.
I was just gonna say I got an email from the Critical Role Kickstarter the other day, which I put a lot of fucking money into. And they, because they have all of our details now, I'm gonna start getting stuff in about May. That's when they start shipping things. I'm gonna have so much cool shit. I'm gonna have so much cool shit.
You have to show them all.
I am going to. I think the most exciting one, and it's the reason why I went for such a high tier, was that I'm getting a display box and then the pilot script signed within
that is cool.
So they're because of the way that they're doing it, they're just sending the front page, and then they're going to email the rest of the script once the episode actually comes out, so you can put it all together. But it's going to be the top page of the script, and it's going to come in a little display case, and I'm very excited about this.
Oh my god, that's so cool. That is so cool. I've never done a Kickstarter.
It's the only Kickstarter that I've done. And it was it is one of the most successful Kickstarters of all time.
That's great. The one I supported was a game, and it never became a reality.
That's a shame.
It looked really nice, but oh well, it happens. It happens. No matter how many people come around to help out, sometimes it's just not gonna happen. Maybe one day.
I keep having to remember that this is all because they're making a show, like an animated show, and it's going to come out on Amazon. Yeah. So I can actually be like, hey, if you like this, maybe you could go back and watch the entire thing. But if you don't want to, I think it's 12 episodes that they're doing in the first season of like stuff that I've seen before, but like in an animated show format. So you can understand what these characters and what they mean to me. And I'd be like, look, it's Max. I love.
And they're gonna voice their own characters. I'm
Yes,
guessing.
they are. So they're all voicing their own characters. I mean, Matt's probably going to be like multiple people in it, but he's not playing all the NPCs like he did when he was the dungeon master. But they're all playing their actual characters from the thing, and they've got more
That's
people coming in
nice.
to
You're
be
gonna
like,
get some amazing voices in there.
I'm so excited about what the hell, because like they keep every so often they release like another little video to be like, hey, here's how production's going, here's all our crew, and like it's been a great thing to kind of see, but also don't really know much about it beyond that. So this is sort of like, who knows what it's going to be like. I guess we'll find out.
Oh, that sounds exciting.
Yeah,
I never watched Critical Role. I really should get into it because I just don't really understand.
I didn't understand either. Like literally the first time I started getting interested in D&D was because I watched the first episode of Critical Role. And I watched the first episode of Critical Role because I knew about Laura and Travis, and I followed Liam on Twitter and Ashley, obviously. Everybody else I was not familiar with at all. So that's how I learned D&D, like watching the show. And since then, it's just been kind of like picking up from there. It's like, it's not the only way to play D&D, but like, I learned basically most of how the mechanics of the game works from watching the show from the beginning. There's a lot of like talk about whether or not you should watch it from the beginning nowadays, just because there's somebody in the first like 20 episodes, 25 episodes that is not there anymore, and he's not a good dude. But like the early episodes have some of my favorite moments in them as well, so it's like a weird toss-up thing, and yeah, but it's like it's very good. It's
I see another thing that's on my list. It's sitting on my list. I have a list. I have Schitt's Creek now, and I still haven't started it. So, and I have it since last year.
The thing about Schitt's Creek that I'm realizing, because I tell people to watch Schitt's Creek all the time, and then they start watching the first season, they go, "This isn't very good," and I'm like, "Okay, here's what you need to understand: the first season isn't very good." But it gets consistently better as it goes on. By the end of it, if you're not in love with it, I would be shocked. Because basically everybody who watches the show is like, you have to watch the show, it's amazing, and everybody who just like kind of starts and then watches like the first couple episodes is like, this isn't very good, what are you talking about? I was like, no, trust me. Just keep with it.
I trust you, but I don't know why I didn't start that either. I'm so bad at this. But I have so many things that I am excited for. Like tomorrow we're gonna get Falcon and the Winter Soldier second episode, and then we're gonna get on the same day Godzilla versus Kong, which I'm gonna watch.
Is that out tomorrow?
Yeah.
Fuck me.
So I am very excited for that one because I need some monster fights in my life. I am at that point.
Right. And Empire put a review up.
Oh yeah, there are many reviews up. And when I first checked it, it was 100% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I am sure now changed. But
it's at 88% on Rotten Tomatoes. Empire has given it 2 stars, so that's where Empire's at with it.
Fair deal. Nobody is coming out soon, which is very much
what's coming out?
Like John Wick. Nobody.
The thing with Bob Odenkirk.
Yep.
Yes. I remember.
Yep. So that's Godzilla vs Kong is still at 88% on Rotten Tomatoes, or it's just 16 reviews, so it can still change.
The low thing from Empire was going to make me go, ooh, interesting. I tend to agree with most of Empire's things. I'm seeing first reactions in describe an exhausting show. Hang on.
Oh, I see it. Godzilla vs. Kong mostly delivers on its promise of a big monster fighting another big monster. It just depends whether you're willing to sit through the toe-curlingly bad setup that surrounds it. That's what John Nugent wrote on Empire magazine.
Yeah, it's one of those things.
Oh well, I just want to see monsters.
Want to see Big Monkey beat up Big Lizard Man.
Yes, that's it. That's all I'm interested in.
Big Monkey.
Big Monkey. And then there's a new series dropping next, I think it's next week, on
Netflix?
Netflix,
there you go.
and it's called The Irregulars.
Oh
And
yes, yeah,
it's set in the world of Sherlock Holmes, but with supernatural beings and a bunch of kids who are gonna go after it. And I'm like, I
cool.
want to see this. And
Ready for
then
that.
April is the month of Shadow and Bone
Shadow and
coming
Bone.
out.
Shadow and Bone.
I'm reading the book because Kate got it for me, and she's the best, and I love her, and I am so excited now. I'm on the hype train as well because
I have
it's
been
really good.
trying to like ease off the hype train as much as because I really don't want to hype it up too much. And then get into it and be like a bit that kind of thing.
It can happen.
It has happened many a time, but like
Yep.
in that space where I keep getting recommended like articles about it, and I'm like, I will look at them and then I'll start scanning through and I'm like, I don't want to read this. And I leave without getting any real information. But I did accidentally I was looking something up on the Wikipedia page, and then I realized that all the episode titles were released. And the number of episode titles that are specifically to do with the crows and the from the Six of Crows, I was like, oh boy, oh no, I'm so excited. And I was like, no, stop being excited. Put it away. I have to wait another month. I have to wait another month though, and I'll be sitting there going, I want it now. I keep seeing like the ones I've seen that were from like people who've seen like the whole season from who do press,
Yes.
Have been there's been a lot of talk of how good Kaz and Inej are together, and how Jesper is like a perfect flirt, and they show his bisexuality properly, and I'm like, I'm so excited. I'm like ridiculously thrilled about like the idea that they're like, oh, they've done it well, good.
And then I did share with you that they shoot the whole thing here in Hungary, and I was almost a part of it, but then I wasn't. It happens. I am available if you're coming back for season 2 here. I'm here. You can call me again, please. I'm a good runner. I make good coffee. And I can die very well.
She's good at that sort of thing. Done it many times.
Yeah, many times.
I hear they call her the Sean Bean of dying. Of extras. Sean Bean is already the Sean Bean of dying. I feel like I made Sean Bean of extras, but like nailed it.
Anyway, before we go, I will mention one last thing, and that is that on April 14th, I guess, Love and Monsters is coming.
Oh yeah.
If you haven't watched it yet, this is gonna be the perfect time.
Folks outside of the US, it will be available everywhere on Netflix. In the US, I think it's still on Prime. I think that's the way it's out. But like, you can listen to that, and then you can go and watch our episode about it, because we did an episode where we talked about it. And
it was our second review, and it's magical.
It's just a really lovely movie, and we think you would very much enjoy it.
100%. Like, I was so surprised by that movie, and I said it in the review as well, because based on the trailer, I didn't have much hope for it. I'm not gonna lie. I was like, yeah, sure, I'll watch it because it's Dylan O'Brien. I love Dylan O'Brien. But then it was one of the nicest surprises of last year. I'm not gonna lie, and I did went back and I watched it 4 more times since. So it's really good. It's really good. I also will recommend one of my favorite reviewers of movies. His name is Phil Mantle, and we're gonna put the link down below, because he will tell you why it works so well. And just you should just listen to that guy, because he's really smart, and I love him. And yeah, that's my final thought, to watch Love and Monsters when it comes out on Netflix.
My final thought is, I keep telling myself I'm going to watch Sunshine at some point. The Danny Boyle movie. I haven't seen it yet. I keep thinking about it. It's like really on my mind at the moment. I'm like, I have to get around to sitting down to watch that. But like, I keep getting to like the evenings, and then suddenly the time where I'm like, oh, I might watch a movie. I end up on Discord with some friends of mine, and then suddenly it's midnight, and I'm like, I can't watch a 2-hour movie now. So it's like a lot of, it's a perpetual cycle of me like leaving it a bit too late, and then being like, no, I won't watch it now. But I will get to it, because it like I'm really, it's it's one of those things that's like right at the front of the list at the moment, where I'm like, I think I should sit down and watch that at some point.
Please,
I will.
please. It has two of my many favorite boys, which is Chris Evans and Cillian Murphy. So
yeah, Cillian Murphy's really what's selling it for me at the moment.
It's a freaking amazing movie. I think it might be my favorite Danny Boyle movie. I'm not gonna lie.
Interesting.
Yeah, it's my favorite Danny Boyle movie. I've watched that movie so many times, and it scared the shit out of me the first time I watched it.
Interesting. Here's my question: what kind of accent does Cillian Murphy have in it?
I've seen it in Hungarian, so I don't know.
You don't know. Interesting.
I haven't watched it in English yet. I'm not gonna lie. So I have to go and watch it again, which is perfect because I love it. It's really good. So I think you're gonna like it, but
I reckon I'll probably like it
the next time we will do this podcasting.
That sounds like a good idea.
Which hopefully you're gonna watch it by then.
Yeah, I think I'll probably watch it at some point this week. Maybe I'll watch it this afternoon. I do have to do some other stuff this afternoon though. Like there are dogs that need walking and that kind of thing.
I mean, fair enough. But let me know. I want to know your thoughts. I really love that movie. It's a really good movie. Yeah, and then I think this is the good time to say, be good, guys, and watch The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Really good.
We'll probably do a wrap up at the end of the season. Almost definitely.
Yes,
in fact, yeah.
I think it's gonna be our new thing because there's so many Marvel things coming out that it's just we can just do it.
And plus they're easy to talk about, you know.
Yeah, as we already established it. Get a vaccine if you can.
Oh yeah. It's but the process has been long. My mum has booked her vaccines. My dad has had his first one. So it's all going very well. The NHS is doing a very good job rolling everything out.
Nice.
You hear that, government? You should be funding the NHS and not cutting it. Let's not get into this.
Yeah, that's for another day. But yeah, basically. But still be careful, please. And listen to us and subscribe to us. And
also, here's the thought I had. If you have any ideas of things that you'd like us to talk about, please let us know. Because the number of times that I sit that it pop up on like a Thursday morning, but hey Lily, what are we talking about? And we're like, not entirely sure. We haven't discussed this yet. What about? We welcome any ideas.
Yeah.
There are big things that you'd like us to discuss.
There was one suggestion. See? Now that you said it, it come to my mind. There was one suggestion, but I don't know how much you are into this stuff, that we should talk about animes.
I'm not huge into... I haven't seen that many animes. In fact, I've seen 3 animes in their entirety, and 2 of them are Full Metal Alchemist.
I mean, we can talk about it.
I do love Full Metal Alchemist.
I like it. It's not my favorite one, but I like it.
Yeah. I'm not the authority on this sort of thing. So if we were to talk about anime, I feel like we should get somebody else in who might know more about it.
Interesting idea. See, ideas are coming in. But still, as Katie said, just
stick them in the YouTube comments. Or you can tweet them at us. Lily's at Lily K. I'm at Test Subject Nerd. Our thing is 2 Cinephiles. They're all on the screen. That's why I'm gesturing around now. At least if Lily does the editing in the way I expect her to.
But yeah, that's it.
Cool.
And we love you.
Thanks for watching and listening and all that stuff.
This was fun. We can do more random things like this. I like that.
Yeah. Bye, everybody.